Get ready with me as I tell you about my experience as an international student in America. So to give you a bit of context, I grew up in Taiwan my entire life. I did go to an international school though, so I was kind of like an in-between of Asian American, but I wasn't really Asian American because I didn't grow up in the States. We call them ABCs in Taiwan. Anyways, I went to Wesleyan University, which is located in Middletown, Connecticut, which is extremely different from Taipei, as you can imagine. And when I first got there, I hated it. I hated it so much. It was miserable. First of all, my school was majority white. I felt like I couldn't relate to a lot of people because they had all grown up here while I grew up somewhere so different. So we had very different values, even habits. Like, for example, taking off your shoes in the house. That was something that I was not gonna budge on, and a lot of people wore shoes in their dorms, and I was like, no, we are not doing this. Also, food was a really big thing because in Middletown, Connecticut, you can imagine that there's not a lot of good, authentic Asian food. So I spent the majority of my college cooking for myself. I feel like food is also a huge part of who I am and my culture. So, I just couldn't eat burgers and hot dogs every single day of my life. I just couldn't do it. And to find people that also related to that was difficult because, I feel like in America, food doesn't hold as much of a big importance as it does in other cultures. Another weird thing that I experienced was that I didn't feel like I fit in with the American kids, and I also didn't fit in with the international kids either because I was some sort of like in between. And I don't know if anyone else has experienced this, but I didn't feel 100% welcomed by the, I guess, American kids. Like, I felt like they were very specific with the people that they hung out with, and so for people who didn't fit exactly into their niche, most likely they would not be hanging out with them. Language was also a huge thing that I actually didn't even realize that this was important to me until I went to college. Because I just grew up in Taiwan, everyone could speak Mandarin, right? So that just became my new normal. When I went to college, obviously not everyone could speak Mandarin. It actually was really important to me to find people who could also speak Mandarin as well. It's funny because then we could just like talk smack in Mandarin and no one would understand. I guess that's what we mainly used it for anyways. In the end, I got really lucky and I actually became friends with all of the other international school students at my school, which was very small, by the way, but I happened to find every single person in that little in-between area. I'm very fortunate to be able to call them all of my friends. So to any international students who also feel a little bit lost or, they feel out of place, trust me, it does get better.